Solve 20x times the quantity x plus 2 times the quantity x minus 1 equals 5x cubed minus 24x minus 14x squared. Well, since this is going to be a polynomial, then I need to simplify the left side and get all of my terms on the same side so that I can set it equal to 0. So we have three things being multiplied. I'm going to go ahead and multiply these two first because they're a little bit easier to multiply out and then multiply through my 20x. So I still have my 20x here, and then I'll multiply these two out to give me x squared. The outsides will give me negative x, the insides will give me positive 2x, so that will give me a positive 1x, and then the last will give me a negative 2. So that's distributing those out. I still have my 5x cubed minus 24x minus 14x squared. It's a good idea to always rewrite the whole problem so you don't lose any parts of it. Alright, then the last step to simplifying this side is to go ahead and distribute my 20x. This will give me 20x cubes plus 20x squared and then minus 40x. And I still have, on the right hand side, 5x cubed minus 24x minus 14x squared. Alright, now, taking a look at it, I see that I have more x cubes, which is my highest power, on the left than I have on the right. So I'll go ahead and subtract off these 5x cubes from both sides, leaving me here with 15x cubes. Now, instead of rewriting this whole problem over and over again, I'm going to do one term at a time. So next, I need to get rid of my negative 14x squared by adding 14x squared to both sides. So I'll go ahead and add it to this side as well. So this leaves me with a positive 34x squared. And then finally, the last term I need to get rid of is a positive 24x. So I need to add it to both sides, which leaves me, first of all, with 0 on the right-hand side because I got rid of all three terms, and then on the left-hand side, this gives me a negative 16x. So now I'm ready to factor because I have all of my terms on the left-hand side and 0 on the right-hand side. So the first thing I need to notice is they all have a greatest common factor of x. So I'll factor out my x, leaving me with 15x squared plus 34x minus 16 equals 0. Now I have a trinomial, so I'll go ahead and use trial and error here. 15x squared is probably going to be 3x times 5x. And for 16, if I try 4 times 4, you'll find out that the outsides and the insides do not add up to be 34. So I'll go to the next set of numbers, which will give me 16, which would be 8 times 2. So now looking at the outsides, I get 6x, and then the insides give me 40x. So I can get to a positive 34x if I let my 40 be positive and my 6 be negative. So the outsides need to be negative, and then the insides need to be positive, which also gives me this negative 16. So I have my polynomial all factored. I have three factors that I set equal to 0. So the first one is just x equals 0, which is a solution. And then the next one is 3x plus 8 could be my 0, or 5x minus 2 could be my 0. So now I need to solve each of these individually because I already have one answer here. So subtracting 8 from both sides gives me 3x is negative 8, and then dividing both sides by 3 gives me negative 8 thirds. Finally, this last one, if I add 2 to both sides, I have 5x equals 2, and then dividing both sides by 5 gives me x is 2/5. So I have three solutions of negative 8 thirds, 0, and 2/5.